Hello, this is a brief tutorial on how to use the Pyramid Game Show template found at calvert.wiki.ccsd.edu. That's a mouthful. Okay, so let's start. Uh, the first slide is just the Pyramid theme song. Gotta love that. It's got a really funky beat, and I just love it. So if you want, you can hear that beat. Just hit that play button. I love that theme song. Okay, so that's just for fun. The second slide is actually incredibly functional. This is the random group generator from uh, the Lesson Activity Toolkit, and you can put your class into this random group generator and just keep it there as a template. The names will always stay in the group generator, and on the bottom of that generator you can pick how many groups you want to divide. When you click generate, it automatically separates your groups, and if you don't like one of the pairings, you can just regroup on the fly. What I like about the random group generator is it keeps the groups for your game show random. Every time you play the game, you have a different group, and this avoids the us versus them mentality that by all costs uh, we want to avoid. So always keep your groups different. Every time you play a game show, have different groups playing off against other groups. It'll increase the chances of being on a successful group and avoid any sort of adversarial um, bad feelings. Okay, next we go to the next slide, and we have our uh, dice roll. In the dice roll, every team picks a student to roll the dice. The three teams roll, the highest score gets to go first. Pretty simple concept. After that, you can go over the rules of the game. Of course, this is just a text box, so you can change these rules if you want to. One rule that generally I find is less successful than the others is each clue giver gives one clue and passes to the next teammate. You may want to get rid of that one. Doesn't seem to work all that great. All the other rules, fantastic. Especially allowing students to use their hand gestures, because that brings in that whole kinesthetic modality, which we certainly want to encourage. After that, you have your game board. Now, in the template, each one of these category names is a text box. To change a category, just double click on the text box and make it your own. You can change the size of the text box, change the size of the font, whatever, if you have a larger category. I like to try to keep the categories a little ambiguous. Kind of adds to that suspense and is more true to the game. So let's say you wanted to choose the category for start digging. Each one of these pyramid tiles is set up as a button. So if I click on category 6, start digging, it takes me to that slide. Now here, I simply double click on the title, and I can change the title of this again. And if you used an ambiguous title, you can qualify that title with a subtitle. In this case, things that are found underground. Underneath that, we've got a Notes Reveal gadget from the Lesson Activity Toolkit. To edit the Notes Reveal, just click the Edit button, and you can add your own words. In this case, a carrot, a groundhog, a mine, and so on. Now, the way you play this game is each team has to pick one student to be in the hot seat. The hot seat is a chair facing away from the smartboard. That student in the hot seat cannot turn around to see the words. The rest of the team faces the smartboard, and after you start the timer, you reveal the first word, and the team has to get the student in the hot seat to guess what that word is without using the word. So, simple $10,000 pyramid idea. So much fun. The kids love it, and it's a great way to reinforce academic vocabulary. At the top, you've got infinite cloners, so you can mark which ones they got right or which ones they might have passed. When your score is done, and the timer runs out, you can tally up your score. Let's say it's 3 out of 5, and you go to the scoreboard. From the scoreboard, you can keep track of each team's score. And what's nice, because it's Smart Notebook, if you don't finish a game in one period, you can come back the next time and finish it up. Just save the game. From the scoreboard, I can click on the game board button to bring me back to the game board. Of course, my team already did start digging, so this is a question closeout tile. It's just an infinite cloner set to a transparency, and I can close out the category that we just selected. Once all of the categories have been chosen and we have a winner, we can go to the final pyramid, and that group can test their skills at the final pyramid. If we have a tie, we can click on the tie break, and the tie break works a little differently. In this case, we time up. So you want the group with the quickest time gets to move on to the final pyramid. So it works a little bit differently. On the final pyramid, we have question flippers. So a question flipper is in final pyramid it works differently than the regular pyramid does. In the final pyramid, you have to guess the category, not the words inside the category, right? So these are question flipper from the Lesson Activity Toolkit. If I click on one, I see a category. Again, you want to set the timer. One student is in the hot seat. That student has to guess all of the words in the pyramid, all the categories, excuse me, in the pyramid before the time runs out. One way, nice way to involve the whole class is to have the whole class try to give that student in the hot seat clues. That's basically the Pyramid Smart Notebook lesson. I hope you have fun with it, and hope your kids do too.